should contribute to the reimagining of these flawed classics.
What, the Disney ones? Yeah, but here's okay. But have you watched the newer ones?
Well, I've watched.
Because they have been reimagined.
We did.
I didn't want to spoil it for you because I
we
figured
did
you were
Moana
going.
the other night.
Yeah.
But it gets really violent. I'm like,
That's what it's like. That's what it'd be like to be young, female, and black. When your friend is a chicken and one is a pig, and you're stuck with an older guy with a catamaran, and your gran is a ghost, and your grandfather ran away from your dad, and he's the spirit of the seas.
the chicken.
Eugene watches a lot of Moana,
Do you,
as you can
kids?
tell.
One, yes.
How old?
My daughter's turning 17 this year.
Oh, 7. Oh, you're away. You're years away from this.
What?
From Moana.
We watched it the other day.
Can you not tell? What do you mean? You're assuming that his daughter is the one who wants to watch it.
Oh, is he? Oh, yeah.
I was the one who was saying.
She has to put it on for him.
Make way! Make way!
Yeah, she's the one who's putting it on for him. This is What Now with Trevor Noah. In fact, here's another reason, Malcolm Gladwell, you should be pro pickleball.
Mm-hmm.
I know your views on golf.
Yeah.
I know how much you hate the fact that like golf takes up inordinate amounts of spaces and it's unfairly apportioned to the pickleball.
Yes.
Turns one tennis court into 4 pickleball courts.
Wait, is that true?
That is completely true.
4.
4.
It quadruples the
Yes.
output.
It quadruples.
Didn't you lobby for one to be turned into
And
Yeah.
I did. And most pickleball games, are generally played by 4 people. Most tennis get-togethers are 2 people. So technically,
It's really 8x the productivity of the space.
uh-huh.
I wish you could come see a match.
All right.
No, that's why I think you would love it.
Yeah.
It is the sport of the people.
All right. there's a point at which when
There's a point at
Trevor
which you
starts
check
banging
out.
the egalitarian democracy drum on behalf of.
But it is though. I think that's what it is. How you been? What have you been up to?
I have been. Well, as I said to you before, I now have 2 children.
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you. I have 2 daughters. Yes.
Started late and you've just kept going.
I started late. I kept going. I might have to. I think I'm stopping at 2. They are enormously entertaining. I spend an enormous amount of time consuming children's television and music.
What's your favorite show? Bluey, Coco Melon,
No.
Peppa Pig?
Well, the good thing, there's a lot of Peppa Pig going on in my life right now. Although I'm trying to phase it out. We're on to the Disney movies.
Hey.
I'm discovering all these things that other people discovered many years ago. So and this is the thing about parenting, is that parenting it rides on the illusion that you are discovering for the first time what the rest of the world has known for millennia.
Figured it out.
So I have discovered that the early Disney movies are 50 times better than the most recent ones.
Yes.
I never saw these as a kid, so I'm seeing for the first time. So I've watched a lot of, for example, Snow White. And first of all, Snow White is astonishingly good. But the best part about it, and this is actually because I've been part of a larger thing I've become very interested in. The best part about Snow White is all of and also even more so probably with Cinderella.
Okay.
Is their willingness to go on these tangents. Like in Cinderella, there's 20 minutes on the mouse playing with the cat Lucifer, and they leave the whole story, set it over here, and it's just the cat and the mouse. And the self-confidence of the filmmaker, they're like, the kids are happy to put Cinderella to the side and just go with the mouse and the cat for 20 minutes. And they'll come back to us. We have such confidence in our story and our storytelling ability. And I feel like today, when you watch the newer ones, there's never any of these digressions.
No.
And one is they don't understand how kids' minds work, or even, how human beings' mind works. Well, you know this as a comic. In comedy, right? It's the digressions that often get you the biggest laugh.
Yes.
When you veer off the path, boom,
Segues.
right?
But I think conversations are the same.
The same. Yeah.
I think in everything, the surprise is what actually gets you going versus where you thought you were gonna get to. But
so why aren't they doing that with the kids? Why did they forget the digression?
I think it's a market economics thing. I think I have this fight oftentimes with people who work in new television, right? Especially in streaming. I think they read data wrong. That's my opinion, is that they look at the data and they go, oh, if it's not engaging in the first 2 minutes, then people are not going to watch, and you've got to catch their attention, and people like short content, and people like this, and people like that, but they've made all these assumptions based on data. But data, as you know better than anyone, you can read data however you like, and it can tell you the story you want it to tell you. So I think a lot of the things that are being made today are being made with the idea that people don't have an attention span, but I don't think that that's true. People still have attention spans.
Very much.
The difference is people now have more choice than they had back in the day, so they don't tolerate shit in the same way that we used to. Do you know what I mean? So I think maybe it was like a little bit of arrogance or just confidence on the side of like old Disney. But I also think no one was telling them, oh, the data says you got to move on.
Yeah, nobody was giving them instructions. The other thing that's interesting is that the mistake that data makes is that they don't account for the fact that the audience might change its mind. And audience is changing. The moment when an audience changes its mind, and when I say changes its mind, I simply mean when they might go from indifference to engagement, from puzzlement to joy, to just some shift. And again, I'm sure you've experienced this a million times because you live this in some sense in your live performances. That moment doesn't always happen at the beginning. In fact, sometimes it's way better if it happens deep into the performance. And you can tell. Why are you guys pointing at each other?
We both, Eugene and I met doing stand-up.
Yeah.
That's how we met in South Africa. How many years has it been? 20
Almost
now?
20 now.
Yeah, 20 years ago we met. We basically started stand-up comedy in the same week.
Yeah.
In the same venue. And that's like our origin story. And it took many years, then we became friends.
Yeah.
But what you're saying now
Yeah.
is exactly, that's why, this is exactly what we've been saying.
The shift.
But it's exactly the way you said it there.
Even this morning we had the same conversation about something else that we go.
Is that sometimes the
when it
reward
happens.
is not that you get it immediately, it's that you don't know when it's going to happen, and then all of a sudden you go,
That's it. This is it.
wow, I'm into something. You know where that happened to me recently? Have you watched, maybe your girls are too young, but I think they'll still enjoy it. Have you watched Demon K-Pop Hunter on Netflix?
No. I've seen it.
Can I tell you? K-Pop Demon Hunters or K-Pop Demon Hunters, I think. I started this movie. In the first 3 minutes, I was like, this is not for me. And then 40 minutes later, I was sitting there on the couch, completely mesmerized, completely entertained, just bopping along. Just like every day, that's just me singing along, just you're my soda pop, you're my nana soda pop. I can't explain it.
Yeah.
But it's what you're saying.
Yeah.
I gave it a chance. I went with it. And now I got the reward. But if I succumbed to that initial instinct, that 3 minutes, 4 minutes, I would have gone, this is not for me.
But that's sorry, Malcolm. That's very similar to what stand-up comedy really is. It's like raising children. You suspend disbelief. And you just go with the flow and be able to be surprised at some point.
Or you just bump into something.
Because that's what happens when adults watch children's shows. They first start resisting. Then they go, no, well, no, dog is not talking. And they go, wow, Blue is a boy? Blue is a girl? Is what's going on here? Then you become more involved because you've suspended disbelief, but it takes a long time. And that's what happens with comedy. The first 5 minutes, you're trying to express yourself and you're trying to go to people, forget about your job, forget where you parked your car. Let me take you to another planet. Then
who is your favorite character? Bluey? Yours, not your girls. There's got to be something you watched where you're like, because
in this recent iteration, because I never watched any of this as a kid.
But that's what I'm saying. You never watched TV as a child.
No.
No.
I honestly didn't watch
Malcolm
TV.
Gladwell didn't watch television as a child.
How?
He lived in like a learned household.
I didn't watch television until I got to college.
At all?
Well, barely. I mean, I would go over to a friend's house every now and again and watch a football game, but I knew nothing. I mean, I would fake it.
You think that you've never watched TV?
No. At the time, so if you talked to me in high school, you would have thought we had a television. But I was just reading about. These shows and faking it.
You think that you had watched television?
Oh man, this is so funny.
You see this week on the A-Team? Oh, the A-Team.
No, it's not that hard to. It wasn't that hard to do. And I was a huge basketball fan. and football fan in high school, and I had never seen a professional basketball game. And I had only seen like an incredibly small number of, but to this day, I can talk about the 1970s era San Antonio Spurs. My favorite player was the Iceman, George Gervin. I never saw George Gervin play. I would read about him in Sports Illustrated once a week, and I constructed George Gervin in my mind. And I would read these. To this day, I can quote. George Gervin was a kind of spectral figure. He was, again, I never saw him, but this is what I learned from reading about him. He was the greatest scorer in the game in the mid-'70s, and he was very, very, very thin. And he had all these he was not a great athlete, but he had all these kind of wily moves. And he would give these incredibly cone-like, bizarre quotes to the media. And my favorite one was when he was explaining his ability to get to the basket. Whereas I be not too fast from here or there, otherwise my game be zigzagging. Which as a 12-year-old, I read that.
So you never heard that voice? That was the voice you heard, but those were the words he said.
Yes. Whereas I be not too fast from here to there, otherwise my game be zigzagging. And I remember, so I'm 12. I'm in rural Ontario in Canada, in a little farm school with like a lot of Mennonites. I have no TV. I have no conception of what a professional basketball game is. And I read that quote and I just think, this guy sounds so fantastic. So I have growing up, I have a big poster of George Gervin.
Who you had never seen play.
To this day, I've never seen him play. I mean, he's long retired, but every now and again, there's some mention of George Gervin. George Gervin.
You have no yearning to like go find like a tape or go...
I don't want to ruin it. It was way better in my imagination. Imagine if you're working off that quote. So he's not fast from here to there, but his game be zigzagging. You can imagine in your mind how he gets to the basket, right? He's literally, I have my picture in the picture on my wall. He's 6'7", 6'8", and if he's 160 pounds, I'd be stunned. He's rail thin, so he's like slipping and sliding his way through, and like doing something. I don't know, I never saw him, but like doing some weird thing with his hand. That's so like I became hooked on. To this day, I'm a massive basketball fan, but that was its origin. Was I know all the stories of these players. I just don't know anything about.
I mean, that's the most important thing, isn't it?
It is the most important thing.
No, really, it is, because that is the story. Like when we talk about a legendary game, if you go like Liverpool, AC Milan, you're talking about the story.
See,
yes,
that's what you're doing.
I do that every time with football. Every time, because I hate football.
Oh God, I hate how he does this.
I hate football, but I've learned where to jump in. Let's make an example there.
I hate this.
Let's say you're talking about a coach.
I can't believe you're going to make me entertain this.
Go ahead.
Wait, what's your favorite football team, by the way?
Liverpool.
How did it come to be Liverpool?
So, I grew up. Oh man, you know what? Let me give Eugene his example so he doesn't mess up my.
No, you're doing quite well. Go ahead.
No.
Please.
I'll give you the example. Have you seen how Liverpool plays?
Jeez, Anyway, carry on. Yeah.
This season with Arne Slot, and just like since Arne Slot came, you've seen an evolution in the game.
But before there was Arne Slot. Anyway, carry on. Yeah.
This is what he does.
Yeah.
He's never watched. He doesn't watch. He doesn't care to watch. He doesn't care. And then I've seen him inflame people around us.
Yeah.
Because they'll get agitated because they'll think he's agreeing with them or disagreeing with them. And then I have to stop them and go, Eugene doesn't know anything about the sport.
I be zigzagging.
Otherwise. You forgot the otherwise, which is the crucial. That is in the construction of that sentence. The otherwise. Anyway,
so, okay, I'll tell you how I became a fan. So, it is a long story, but it'll tell you a lot.
We've got time.
Okay, thank you. I didn't grow up liking soccer. In fact, I quite hated it because it was the thing that interrupted my ability to play video games on a television. So whenever I'd want to play TV games, as they were called when I was young, then my uncle and all these people would walk in and be like, turn that off. We want to watch the game. And as a child, I used to think that the game was like 3-4 hours long. I was just like, this never ends, right? Yeah. So I didn't like it, because we had one TV and that TV was taken away from me by football. Fast forward many years, ironically, video games bring me back to the sports. So a series gets released called FIFA, and it's a soccer game. I play that up. I start loving the game. Like you, I start falling in love with players who I've never watched because I see them as digital recreations running across my screen. Who is this person? You know what I mean? Like I'm Miroslav Klose. Who is this German? I love him. The way he headers the ball, and I get sucked into this world, which is a facsimile of the real world. So when I talk to people who like love football, they know what I'm talking about. And then at some point it would break down because they would go like, oh, where did you? And I go like, oh no, I don't watch the game. I just play the video game. Some people would be happy. Others would feel like I'd betrayed them. They feel like I'd catfished them.
Sounds familiar.
So then I think like from there I started falling in love with the game.
With the real game.
Yeah, with like the real game.
Yeah.
And then...
But are you watching Premier League in South Africa?
It was on, but I couldn't get it. And I think that's part of it.
Yeah.
You had to have like a premium television. You had like satellite TV, that type of stuff. So you fast forward many years, and I've now become a fan of players, coaches, and like random, collections. I don't support teams at this time because I was like, a team doesn't care about me. They would sell a player without consulting anyone. I would see friends around me distraught. Literally, I've seen it even now in like the NBA. People, how could we trade? How could we trade Luka? How could we? And I'm like, what? It's not we. They did it to you. You're sad now. And so I remember thinking, the one thing I do not want is to be part of this inherited sadness that I have nothing to do with. So I would just support players. I'd go around with them. Then one day, through the video game, I fell in love with a coach by the name of Jurgen Klopp, German coach who was coaching a team called Borussia Dortmund. And Dortmund, what I loved about them is they were the underdogs of the German league. They were playing against a team called Bayern Munich, who were the most powerful, richest. They won every year.
So they were top of the heap in the Bundesliga.
See, this guy knows the Bundesliga. You see what he did there? He got me excited. Then I remembered he doesn't care. But for that moment, you got me excited. And they challenged and they won. And they to borrow from the movie 300, they showed that a god could bleed. And I loved what Jurgen Klopp had done. Then Bayern Munich basically bought all the players from that team. Other teams bought the players. The team didn't become... Jurgen Klopp left. He went to Liverpool. At the same time, Liverpool in the video game was becoming better because they had like a bunch of players who were amazing. Fernando Torres, Daniel Sturridge, Raheem Sterling, all of these guys. So I was loving the players in the video game because it was great to play with them. Jurgen Klopp goes there. Then I became closer friends with another South African who loved Liverpool. He wouldn't stop talking about Liverpool, but he would show me cool things that were around Liverpool. And then the first live game that I went to was a Liverpool game, but it was in New York, ironically. And
have you been to a Liverpool game in Liverpool?
Oh, I have. It's like church.
Is that the one where they sing "You'll Never Walk Alone"? Oh my God,
I just got goosebumps.
Okay, so that
Malcolm, you're so good.
That video, there's like a short list of like 5 YouTube videos that I just endlessly watch whenever I need some kind of. And there's a video of the crowd singing. Do you know? I don't know. I mean, there must be many. There must be many. But should we explain the?
Please explain to me. Yes.
The context is.
Yes.
It's a song by. Is it Jerry and the Pacemaker? Who sings it originally? Someone who sings it originally.
No man. What's his name, Ryan? Jerry and the Pacemaker. It is.
It is Jerry and the Pacemaker. But they have a terrible. They have a tragedy up.
Yes. The Hillsborough disaster.
And they adopt that song.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then they sing it every time. They sing it at every game.
Yes.
And the whole crowd, in that wonderful way, the one thing about English football that, again, I know nothing about it, but I know that they love to sing, that collective singing.